to my channel. I hope you're all having a beautiful start to your day. I'm here today to do a Buzzfeed tasty recipes tested type of video. I know that these are all over YouTube right now, and I thought it would be really fun to try out 4 different Buzzfeed tasty recipes that I found online. If you're unfamiliar with Buzzfeed Tasty, they are all over Facebook. They're like those 10 to 20 second videos where they show you how to make a recipe. They make it look extremely easy, and I don't know, I just thought it would be really fun to try some out. So if you're interested in watching this video, just stick around. If you have any other questions and concerns, just ask them in the comments below. And without further ado, let's get testing. So according to the recipe, you're going to need some pizza crust. I'm using the Pillsbury thin crust. You just want to stretch it out along a piece of wax paper, and then you want to take your knife and cut out some strips. I'm making 3 strips, and they're about 1 inch to 1.5 inches wide. Then you want to take some pizza sauce and just gently and lightly spread it out across each of the strips of the pizza dough. Next up, you want to take some mozzarella cheese, and again, just sprinkle some along the pizza dough. It depends how cheesy you want this to be. I just did a very thin layer. Next up, you want to add on your pepperoni, and you want to make sure that your pepperoni is hanging off of your pizza dough because that's what's going to make the rose shape. And finally, before you bake it, you want to roll these all up. I'm just starting on one end, and I'm just rolling them all the way over to the right, and I'm just making sure that pepperoni is sticking out on the edge. Bake these in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes or until it is golden brown, and this is what it looks like. One of them came out really awesome and the other ones not so much. So this is what the final product looks like. Some of them, as you can tell in that previous clip, it did not work out as well. But I feel like if you fold it the right way, these actually are really cute. These look just like little pizza roses. So presentation, I'm going to give some like a 9 and some like a 2. It's all about that taste test. Let's check this out. Oh my god, that's so good. I don't really care that some of them like fell apart. This tastes amazing. Tastes just like pizza. Tiny little disclaimer, I would definitely suggest sharing one of these with a friend because that is a lot of pepperoni in there. I don't know, I want to say there's like 10 or 15 slices of pepperoni, so highly suggest making these, but highly suggest sharing one with a friend. Now onto the s'mores truffles. The recipe says you want to start with some graham crackers. You want to take 1 sleeve of the graham crackers and crush them up. I'm just using my fingers. Once you have all your graham crackers crushed up, you want to pour them into a bowl. Next, you want to take some mini chocolate chips, and there really isn't any exact measurements for this. You're kind of just eyeballing everything. If you want it to be more chocolatey, add more chocolate chips. If you want it to be less chocolatey, add less chocolate chips. And then finally, you want to add in some fluff. I added in 2 large spoonfuls and just threw it right into the quote-unquote batter. Now on to the not so fun part. In my personal opinion, the Buzzfeed Tasty video made it seem so effortless, but the fluff was really sticky and it was hard to incorporate into the chocolate chips and the graham crackers. I would just really suggest using a lot of elbow grease, and then it will finally all come together. Once you take this out of the refrigerator, you are left with your quote-unquote batter. So then you just want to take small handfuls of the batter and roll them all together until you're left with little small truffle balls. And the final step for this treat is to take those s'mores truffle balls, throw them into some melted chocolate, try to tap off some of that excess chocolate, and then place it back on the wax piece of paper and allow it to dry for about 10 to 15 minutes until the chocolate is hard. I have a really weird feeling about these. I feel like they're really heavy, like a brick, like they're going to be very, very dense. These are the s'mores truffles, but I mean, visually they look good. I just have a really weird feeling about it. Here goes nothing. I was so wrong. Oh my god. They're like soft inside. Really, really soft inside, as you can tell. I can crush it right down. That's not hard at all, and the chocolate's like the perfect little layer. It's not too thick and it's not too thin. These are a super win. For the braided chocolate croissant, you're going to need some more pizza crust. I'm just using the leftover that I had from the Pizza Roses. And you want to cut it into a nice, neat rectangle. Then you want to take some Hershey bars. I'm just using the XL one. It depends on how thick you want your chocolate to be, but I like my chocolate. So you want to place this right in the middle. I'm making 2. And then you want to cut slices up and down and roll those in. And then you want to cut diagonal slices on the top. I hope this is making sense. And then take each of the diagonal slices and just start braiding them together one by one. You want to put one on the right side, one on the left side, one on the right side, one on the left side, and I found that I didn't need the bottom one, so I just cut it off and squeezed it all together. To give your croissant that nice glossy shine, you want to take a scrambled up egg and just dab it all over your croissant. Bake this in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes or until it is golden brown, and this is what it looks like when you take it right out of the oven. Cut it down the middle, and your whole objective is to hope that your chocolate is nice and melty inside, and I'm happy to say this worked out perfectly. These came out so beautiful. They are like perfectly crispy. If you squeeze, you can see the chocolate start to ooze out, so the chocolate is nice and melty inside. Here goes the taste test. It's so hot. Oh, look. It's so good. Well done, Buzzfeed. Well done. So, so good. It tastes just like the croissants that you can get at Panera. They're like very similar to the croissants that you can get at Panera, and I love the chocolate croissants from Panera. This is a win for me. And save the very best for last. This is the recipe that I was most excited to try. These are the cinnamon roll cupcakes. So you just want to start off with some cake batter and make your batter exactly how the recipe says on the back of the box. Then you want to take it and fill up your cupcake tins about 1/3 of the way. Usually you do it about halfway, but you only want to fill it up about 1/3 of the way for this recipe. Do this to all of your cupcake tins, and then you want to place this in the oven and only bake it for 6 minutes. This is very important. You only want to bake it for 6 minutes because you're going to be taking it out, adding on cinnamon rolls, and then baking it back in the oven. Next, you want to take some cinnamon rolls while these are baking in the oven, and you want to work quickly because again, you're only baking these for 6 minutes. You want to take your cinnamon rolls and cut them in half. Do that to all of your cinnamon rolls, and you should be left with 12 of them at least. When you take your cupcakes out of the oven, you want to take each of these cinnamon rolls and place one on top of each of the cupcake tins. Finally, you want to place these back in the oven and bake again for another 10 to 15 minutes or until they are all golden brown. And look at this perfection. This was so beautiful. They came out perfect. I have never been so satisfied in a baking project in my entire life. I am obsessed with these. And the very final step is just to ice these cinnamon roll cupcakes. I'm just taking the icing that came in the container, placing it in a plastic bag, and then using a scissor and cutting off the tips so that I could squeeze it out easier. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but there's just something so special about watching icing melt onto cinnamon rolls. This whole entire project was just everything to me. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the most satisfying food DIY I've ever done in my entire life. It came out perfect. It is so visually appealing. I cannot believe how great these came out. Let's hope they taste as good as they look. Here comes the taste test. They're so pretty. I definitely ripped half of the cupcake out though. That is my bad. They're still a little hot, I think that's why, but let's dig in. It's like everything you'd want out of a dessert. Ah, oh my god. So good, look at that. For this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you thought in the comments below, and please thumb this video on up if you want to see more of these types of videos on my channel. I really had such a blast filming this video, and I had even more fun eating all the delicious treats. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all your support. I hope that you're having a beautiful day, and I will talk